What's up, guys? It's Ethan, and this is my channel. Anyways, I'm sitting here in my car, not for no reason. For those of you that don't know, I drive a 335i BMW from 2015. I'm really excited because I just ordered a brand new BC Racing, a BR suspension kit. I don't know when it's gonna get here. That's a lie, I do. But when it does get here, I plan to show you guys the install and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess I just wanted to show you some of the stuff I've already done to it. It's not that much, it's kind of minimal. I just upgraded the charge pipe from the plastic one to a VRSF aluminum charge pipe. I also replaced the air filter with a cold air intake, upgraded the spark plugs to an NGK Iridium step colder, and also upgraded with that the ignition coils to NGK ignition coils as well. So it runs pretty decently. The next step will be to upgrade the downpipe and install a tune. I'll probably make videos on all of that, but for now, I guess I'll just show you what it sounds like. Anyways, that's it for now. I don't want to do any more than that so as to avoid potentially upsetting any of my neighbors. So I guess I'll cut it here and pick the video back up again once I get the coilovers in the mail. So, see you soon. Alright, so as you can see, I have the package here. It's kind of late, so I'm going to try to open this as quietly as possible. But genuinely, I'm too excited to wait until the morning. I have to get into it now. So let's try to do this as quietly as possible, so as to not wake anyone up. Got our warranty and the stickers in here. They don't come with the instructions, I think. So I'm really excited. Yeah, we got our sway link right there for the big boy. Oh, that is big. That is beefy. And it is so beautiful. Yeah, definitely gonna help beef up the suspension on my car. I don't think I've ever been more excited for anything in my life. So right now, I'm out for a drive, really just trying to pay as much attention as possible, specifically to my suspension, because there are things that I am hoping to be able to address or alter with the installation of my new BC Racing coilovers. I'm trying to create something that is a little bit more on the fun side. You know, it's always about smiles per gallon, but the stock suspension, it's not as stiff as I would like it to be. Going with a stiffer suspension setup and a little bit of a lower suspension setup can greatly reduce the amount of weight that is transferred in your car whenever you accelerate or brake. And it also reduces the amount of drag going on underneath your car, or the amount of unstreamlined air, for lack of a better word, that is hitting the wheels and tires and all of that good stuff. If it's a little bit stiffer and a little bit more responsive, it can also allow you to really understand what's going on underneath your car while you're driving, which is something that I'm looking for, because while it's nice to have all of the things going on outside of my car kind of muted by the suspension, I kind of want to be able to feel what's going on beneath me. So hopefully those things will be addressed with the installation of my BC Racing coilovers. Alright, so as you can see, we just took one wheel off. We already started working on taking off this mount. But now I'm going to go to the other side and take the other wheel off. It's kind of funny, actually. Originally we tried to jack the car up with the cover still on. It punctured a little bit of a hole in it. But it's all good. Nothing's broken. Nothing got messed up. So thankfully we were able to keep it all intact. I'm going to get to taking this wheel off, and yeah. Alright, so I just got done removing this guy and undoing the tower housing. So now we're going to put some tape right here to try to prevent that strut from completely ruining my paint. When I pulled out the stock strut, you could see it's completely torn apart, so it was time to replace these. So these stock sway links are much longer than the aftermarket sway links, but the trick is to put them both in at the same time, both right and left, and should be able to get it in without a hitch. And just as a little bit of comparison, that's the space in the rear now, stock, aftermarket. Alright, so I got the coilovers installed, front and rear. Now I'm really dirty, as you can see. So I'm gonna wash up, and then we're gonna go for another test drive and see if the coilovers made any difference. As you can see now, she is pretty low. I've been driving around on the new coilovers, and I can already tell they're a lot more responsive. They're a little bit more rigid. I don't want to say a lot more rigid, which I'm fine with. I didn't want it to be a super tight ride.
What did he say?
But it also does feel a little bit more like a front wheel drive car now as opposed to a rear wheel drive car, because when I turn, you can feel the car in a way kind of wanting to straighten itself out instead of just kicking out the back end. I can also feel a lot more of the things going on the road underneath me, like the bumps, the little pebbles, everything. But it's not so much to the point where it's just really obnoxious and annoying. So I'm really appreciative of that as well. I seem to have found a really nice middle ground in between, you know, a really stiff performance suspension setup and a comfy suspension setup. I'm really glad about that. It hits corners just so well now, like so much better than before. I feel a lot more confident in hitting turns, corners with just like a little bit more speed than before. So all in all, these coilovers have just really exceeded my expectations. So shout out to BC Racing. Thank you for the coilovers. You didn't give them to me for free, I know. I paid for them, but they're just a magnificent product.